Breaking news! A bacterial monster has gone loose and is wandering through the city, infecting citizens one at a time. We do not know much about the situation, but we do know that the problem was due to a mishap with one of the 6 eyes. These are methods to locate, grow, observe, and characterize microorganisms. To inform the public more on the situation, we have brought in scientific professionals to familiarize us with what is occurring.
Hi, I'm Professor Sierra, and I'd like to go over the correct ways and steps to perform inoculation. So the first step you want to do is make sure you got all your materials. You want your wire loop, your Bunsen burner, and a plate. Another thing you want to make sure you have is your pure culture or your isolated colony that has been previously grown onto a plate. The first step you want to do is now you want to divide up your plate into 4s. After you do that, it's important to label it with your name, the date, and the pure culture or colony that you used. The first step you want to do then is take your wire loop and place it above the Bunsen burner once you turn the Bunsen burner on. This makes sure that you sterilize the loop and make sure that no new bacteria is being introduced to the plate as well. Then you want to dip in your wire loop after it cools down into the pure culture or scrape the little colony that has been grown onto the plate. You then want to go to the first section of your plate and go back and forth all the way down where it meets into the middle. It's important to go close when you're streaking, that way there's more chance of growth. After you do that, you take your wire loop and you put it above the Bunsen burner again to sterilize it. You then go into the second section of your plate and streak it again, and for the first line you want to try to go into the first section and then you stay in the second section. You want to repeat that step for step 3. You sterilize your loop, go back to the plate, and then you just streak normally. Then for the 4th step you do the exact same, sterilize your loop and streak it. You want to make sure that these steps are correct as they're very important for the growth of the microorganism.
Hi, I'm Kendall Hardiman, a microbiologist that uses the 6 eyes quite often. Another one of the 6 eyes is isolation. This is the process of singling out a specific microbe through different techniques. 2 of the most commonly used methods for isolation are the streak technique and the pour plate method. The streak technique involves diluting a bacterial species through multiple streaks in order to physically individualize a colony to be analyzed. The pour plate method is where a liquid sample of bacteria is diluted in tubes and added to agar. The agar mix is then added to plates, and if diluted enough, single colonies should form on the plate following incubation.
So the next step you want to do is put your plate in the incubator. So before you put your plate in the incubator, it is advised that you take tape and you put it on the sides of your plate so that it connects the top of your plate to the bottom of your plate. This prevents any confusion if a few plates were dropped and the tops went missing. So the incubator is set at 37 degrees Celsius, and this is the best degrees for bacterial growth. It's also the exact amount of humidity in there, and it'll be in there for 1 to 2 days depending on the instructions of your lab, or for optimal growth it should be in the incubator for 2 days. You don't want to leave it in longer because it can cause a burning sensation to your plate. It can cause your bacteria just to die and it won't be good for the plate that you used. So make sure you know when you put your plate in the incubator so that you can take it out in time.
The 4th step will be information gathering. So with information gathering, this step may include inoculation into specialized media. By doing so, it will allow us to obtain its microbial function, its characteristics, its traits, and the genetic type. There are many different kinds of tests that you can do in order to provide specific information of a certain microbes. And some of the tests are biochemical testing, immunological testing, DNA analysis, or drug sensitivity. And that is how you do information gathering.
Next is inspection. Here, the cultures grown are observed for physical characteristics. These include colony size, color, texture, and many other aspects. This is usually done with the naked eye or observation tools like microscopes. To aid in this step, different stains can be completed, such as the gram stain, to make specific structures more obvious.
Last but not least, the last step is called identification. So the goal of this step is to attach the name or identify the microbe using all the information we have done or researched on. Identification is accomplished through the use of keys like dichotomous keys, charts, or any computer program that analyze the data so we can come into our final conclusion of identifying our microbes.